Alright folks, you've heard the theme song, you've heard about the characters, you've gotten their profiles, you've gotten the general overview of the show, now it's time to get things in gear. It's time for the casting call! We have a list of characters that are on offer. If you want to audition, I'll let you know what to do at the end of this video. Right now, I'm going to go through each of the characters that we have available, give you a rundown of their personality, what we're looking for, and the lines will be in the description below. The only requirements that we have if you audition is for one, you have at least a decent mic, and two, you have a willingness to commit to the project. We have a lot of experience of actors jumping on board, disappearing without a trace, or bailing at some really early point in production, stopping everything. Because we're on a really good fast track here and we don't really want to slow down. Other than that, we're very excited to see what you guys have to offer. First off, Elaine and Elaina. Yes, they have similar names. These are the only two characters in the main cast that are on offer. Females, of course. In case you haven't seen the overview, let me explain. Elaine and Elaina are brand new to Stannard, which is weird because no one ever moves to Stannard. Like, ever. The only out-of-towners that are there are Fergus and Pastor Haas. Everyone else is at least a native Vermonter. Which makes Elaine and Elaina Flatlanders, as the Vermont people tend to call them. Elaine and Elaina are products of divorce. Dad raised Elaina, Mom raised Elaine. Elaine has become a spoiled, pampered princess who has never worked a day in her life, and therefore, now that she is right out of college, kind of expects everything to still be handed to her. She doesn't really think she has to work for everything, although soon she's going to wake up and realize, uh-oh, that's not the case, and she'll have to struggle. She also develops a bit of a thing with Harold. Elaina is tough, aggressive, but also fairly laid back. She has had to work for everything she's got. She's got a lot of grit, doesn't take sass from anyone, but isn't an outright jerk, nor really is she that mean. She's just pretty chill, but can get riled up a bit if she's pushed. There's also a little bit of subtle jealousy going on with her sister. After all, she was pretty much given everything, and everything that she was given has been really nice. Meanwhile, she's just had it average, maybe slightly under average. The two don't have to be voiced by the same person, although it would be kinda nice. And obviously their voices and demeanor should reflect that, with Elaine's being a lot more, I guess, girlish, or more naive or young sounding, with Elaina's being a little bit more gruff. Not too gruff, don't want it to be too ridiculous. Next is the first male on offer, and one that we actually did not put in the supporting cast profile because honestly, he just didn't make it into the memo planning. Sorry. This is Phineas Q. Scatterwumper. He's a sleazy con man who goes from town to town selling what's essentially snake oil or scam inventions, just anything to get a cheap buck. He's very soothing and convincing in the way he talks. In fact, when he's in his salesman persona, he tends to speak in rhyme. But underneath this guise of a smooth-talking, easy-going salesperson, he's actually quite a devious schemer. He's also not very good when it comes to social interaction that strays from the script. He is a recurring role, and basically what we're looking for is, again, someone who can talk smooth, a charming, sophisticated-sounding salesperson, who also has a little bit of a tinge of deviousness to him. Next up is Miss Irvine. She's extremely old, sweet, kind, but still kinda thinks that she's young. At least she's young at heart, really. For more information, check out the video where we talk about the supporting cast. What we're looking for her is just this sweet, old lady sounding voice. And of course, where would Miss Irvine be without her sidekick, Derek? Well, sidekick's not really a good term because sidekick would imply that he's actually into it. He's her store worker. They're the only two that work there, and he is completely lazy. He doesn't care about anything, he's grumpy, he's irritable, he's always tired, and he will do nearly anything to avoid actually working. He's just there for a paycheck so that he can get money to hang out with his loser friends. He's a lot like Cap in a way, only unlike Cap, he's not driven by ambition, just has no real desire to actually do the work to get to said ambition. He's just happy with a dead-end job and no prospects for the future. The kind of voice we're looking for him is just a scummy-sounding teenager. You know the type. The one that works at, say, a movie theater, a gas station, fast food place, whatever. You know that they're failing through school and they're just jerks. They have real no customer service sense, but the only reason they have the job is because there's no one else who wants it. Just have fun with this one. Another male role on offer is Mr. Scott. He's a rich tycoon billionaire and could pretty much buy and sell the entire town of Stannard like that. He could do big things in, say, Philadelphia, New York City, Chicago, LA, but he chooses to stay in Stannard because he's so much richer than everyone else except maybe Harold. He can just boss them all around or have a lot of pull when it comes to the mayor's office, that sort of stuff. And he loves the fact that everyone else knows that he's richer than them, and he flaunts it like crazy. No shame, none of that. And that's what we're looking in the voice. And then there's his daughter Veronica, who's also on offer. She is just a spoiled little girl, about 7 years old. She is the only thing that can touch Mr. Scott's cold, dark heart. He will do anything for this little girl, and she just doesn't really care. She doesn't see him as a dad, she just sees him as a credit card. Because he gives her stuff. She doesn't really understand the concept of love, kind of because she's so young, and kind of because she's just been spoiled into oblivion. And yes, this will come into play later in the series. So for her voice, just kind of an annoying little brat voice. You know that type. The daughter of a Karen, essentially, or in this case, a Kevin. And our final character that we have today is Brianna, who also goes by Bree. Again, she was in the supporting cast video. She's quiet, she's timid, she's very, very sweet, around the Stannard gang's age. Everyone kind of walks all over her because she doesn't stand up for herself. Why would she? That'd make people sad or angry, and she doesn't want to do that. She doesn't like the fact that she gets taken advantage of all the time, but what can she do? With this one, all we really need is, like, kind of quiet, although not too quiet, because we don't want it to be like a whisper, that's hard to understand, but just, you know what I mean, right? Soft, gentle, kind, caring. You get the idea. Those are the characters that are currently open. The deadline is Christmas Eve. If you guys can audition, I would really appreciate it. Read the lines provided in the description, and either send me a video or audio file on Discord, or if you don't have Discord or don't have me on Discord, you can just send me a link to your video in the description of this one. I'll check out each and every one that is sent to me. Don't worry, because this is a very important thing to us. We've been working on this for so long, and we're finally ready to see this come through. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's get going.